What's up, guys? You are listening to the Touge Hour podcast. My name is Wade Best, owner of 129 Touge, and joining me are some of the area's most known individuals in the mountain pass scene. Here we discuss the presence of US 129's Touge scene and the endless changing cycle of motorsport-related news. Real quick before the podcast starts, huge shout out to our sponsors, Touge Motorsports, for your parts and fluid needs to keep your Touge car on the mountain pass. Eurospec LLC here in Louisville, Tennessee for your European automotive needs, and Douglas James Smith, Doug Spec alignments. JZL Track Days, come join us on the track with Atlanta's premier HPD organization, and Carbon Candy for your full carbon aerodynamic parts needs. Thank you guys for tuning in and hope you enjoy the episode.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back, Season 4 of the Touge Hour. We have a little bit of different stuff going on. We're going to be rotating out people now, trying to get more guests on the podcast, and have a little bit more variety with what we bring. So today, we have a special guest. His name is Jody Fleming, my cousin. Who are you? You got so many family members around here now. You're Austin's dad.
Austin's dad.
You're Austin's dad. Cameron's great uncle.
Yeah.
Is that,
let's see. Isaac's stepdad, I think.
Isaac's stepdad.
Are we related?
Do what?
I was asking if me and him were related.
We may
I think
be.
so, yeah.
Somewhere down the line.
Brothers. But yeah, Jody, welcome to the podcast. Glad to have you.
Thanks for the invite.
No problem at all. So what we're doing now is a rotation schedule. So we don't have... It's me. We have Mr. Douglas James Smith, as always.
What is going on?
The blonde alignment man. Not being the most beautiful alignment man, as we say. Carrying that on to Season 4, maybe even Season 5. And then this episode, we have Sean Wilson Smith down there.
What's up, guys?
Hanging out. But yeah, we're going to be rotating people around. The main reason for this is just to introduce more people into the podcast, like I said, and get more of you guys that listen in here so you can chat with us. And then bring, you don't have to hear us all at the same time. We'll be rotating out. So,
Yeah, believe it.
no couch, no Dylan this podcast.
Austin, too?
No Austin. I always forget about poor Austin.
Miata boy.
Not Miata boy. Both Miata boys.
Yeah, both of them.
So, but yeah, I mean, Jody, tell me a little bit about yourself. A lot of new people are coming on here. A lot of people want to know, who are you? What do you do?
So originally, I grew up in South Georgia. My dad brought me up here on motorcycles when I was like 17.
Okay.
So I fell in love with the place then. I told my dad at that point at the Overlook, I was like, I'm going to make this place my backyard one day.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, several years down the road, here I am. So love it. I absolutely love it here.
It's a good place. It's when I was young, I didn't realize what we have around here, especially in our backyard.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Sean go up 6 Mile Road a lot up to the mountains just to mess with our vehicles and stuff. And you get up there and you're like, man, this is like 10 minutes away from this location we're recording, and it's just nothing but mountains.
Yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Good roads.
Yeah, I try to not take it for granted. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you go other places and it's just like, dang, like.
Until I started doing track days and realizing what roads we have around here.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about, we're 129 Touge, we talk about US 129 a lot, but there's so many hidden Touge roads that are around here. And just, even if it's like a 4-minute drive, it's a good road,
It's
right?
great, yes.
So, but that's
Happy
good.
Valley. It's one of my, when I
Happy
go
Valley.
home. Yeah, Happy Valley. When I go home every single day from the Dragon, if I decide to, go to the mountain, I can get back home 10 minutes faster if I take Happy Valley than if I took Parkway or if I took
129. Yeah.
Just because I live on the other side of Maryville. So it's like, Happy Valley's fun because, you could pretty much go at a pretty brisk pace. The locals do not like it on Happy Valley.
No. Yeah, it's...
Especially when they close the parkway and everybody's going through Happy Valley. There's signs everywhere.
Yeah, there's signs, slow down.
Don't break down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will get you.
But
You'll
Get
go
off
missing.
my lawn!
Yeah, you will go missing.
I've came close to hitting dogs. I have actually
You did.
hit a dog.
Yeah.
Back in the day in the Miata.
R.I.P.
I gave him a bonk. No, he was still alive.
Oh, he's still alive.
Well, I was on track pads, so I locked him up pretty quick. He still bonked my damn car, but it cracked it broke the headlight housing and
Messed up the lip, didn't it?
yeah. It just messed the bumper up a little bit, but everything was fine. Dog ran away. I tried to get him out. Wanted to see. I wanted to find where the owner was. But I was in the middle of freaking Happy Valley.
Yeah.
Dude, I launched a bunny when I first when I first got my car. I was taking it. I was living in Jefferson City at the time, and I was ripping around there, and a rabbit come out, and I got on the brakes, so the front end dipped down, and he hit my headlight, and he just launched like
Oh,
35 foot in the air.
Bro. Oh, man.
I think we've mentioned before the video where it's some hill climb event, and the dude's in one of those like formula looking cars. It's like a one seater, and that deer runs out in the road. And dude, that deer
He just wedged the hell out of that thing, dude.
picking it out of the trees.
Oh man,
That deer flew like a 50 foot up.
And
He
dude
went
never
out the camera.
and he never skipped a beat. Dude didn't even let out.
Kept sending it. Absolutely kept sending. There was probably blood on his damn visor. He was just like wiping,
Yeah.
still sent.
Yeah, that was wild.
You've seen the videos of Bathurst in
Oh, yeah.
Australian
Oh, yeah.
supercars.
Yeah.
Dude, there's
Kangaroos.
there's rabbits, there's all kinds of stuff that tries to run across that road, and they're doing 185 mile an hour down the hill.
Bro,
Yeah,
kangaroo comes through my windshield at 185.
Bro.
The car's done.
Done.
Car's done, you might be done.
Imagine going to the pits. Get this thing out of here.
Speaking of animals, I just got back from Pikes Peak. Dude, the rams up there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Big
about that.
ram.
Those are real.
Dude, yeah. They're big
jealous.
too. Like, I'm like, where are those things at whenever they're doing the hill climb? Because I mean, I know they're not.
Have you ever driven a Ram 35?
Yeah. Yeah, those things are massive, man. I was like, I guess because I would say during the hill climb, they probably have a bunch of crowd that's around, so they probably run off.
Yeah,
Probably. Where all did you go when you went to West Coast, man?
So, flew into Phoenix, and first night we drove to Vegas. We stayed in Vegas. Then the second day we went to Zion National Park, went there, Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, Arches, and Canyonland. And we stayed in Moab for 2 nights. Dude,
Nice.
West Coast is, or
Hell
I guess it's not the coast, but just out west, man.
Yeah.
If you're listening, go out west. It is absolutely beautiful.
Well, let me ask you this though. I mean, would you trade it though for what we have here?
So me and Wade talked about this earlier. I don't think I would trade it, but I could definitely see myself live. Like, I was like, I've never in my life been somewhere where I was like, I would move here, dude. I would move to Moab.
Really?
It
It's
would
a
be a
good
different.
destination place.
Like if I guess I would have to be like, if I didn't, or if I'd never done this before, like if this wasn't like a peak interest of mine, like the whole dragon scene, just driving around here. It's like, I guess like Moab out there, like they have like the rigs and stuff, like all the trail riding. Like it's kind of like that for us out here.
Moab's definitely on my bucket list.
Dude.
I've done a lot of off-road stuff.
It is
Moab.
absolutely beautiful out there.
Yeah.
I've never traveled further west than Nashville, believe it or not. Actually, New Orleans. I guess you could say, if you look at a map, the furthest west I've been on the map is New Orleans.
Going down to that Suicide Boys territory.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is not. If we have New Orleans listeners or people who've been to New Orleans, I hate New Orleans. All right, I'm sorry. I hate it. It is one time you're walking down, one of the districts, and it's nice and pretty. And around the next corner, and there's a homeless man taking a poop in the side of the road. Not even into the storm drain, just to be courteous. No, it's just
right
plopping
there.
it right there,
Right
dude.
there.
And because of the fact, Katrina and yada yada yada. I mean, like you will have a quick whiff of some sort of Cajun food, and then the next thing is raw sewage.
Yeah.
It just slaps.
I've heard
you in
it's
the
pretty
face.
bad.
Yeah, and then the water there is not pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, I only went there twice to just hit some cruise ships and just cruise out, and it takes like 2 hours because you got to go through all these channels and
Yeah.
canals to get out, and it's just like ugly, murky water forever.
Shoot.
And then when you finally get out there, it's like once you finally get out, what feels like 20 minutes later, then the water turns blue. It's
Yeah.
like, geez.
Gulf is beautiful, but
Gulf is great, but that water is not pretty.
So when you were out on vacation last week,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ran into anything sort of like this, but you may have. I know you went to a lot of isolated areas. Did you
Yes.
see any car culture when you're out there?
Honestly, this is funny. The only time I seen anything that was, I guess, kind of like what we.
I know it's
have
got to
out
be in just the right area. It's got to
Yeah.
be isolated, but still close to where you can get fuel and everything.
So
right?
we were driving into Manitou, which is right out. It's close to Colorado Springs, and this is the only time that I seen like any sort of. It was a 370Z and a 350Z. His plate was Daddy Z, and his girl's plate was Mama Z. And I sent the dude a message, or I found him on Instagram. I literally just typed in hashtag Daddy Z, and I found his car. I was
Okay.
like, hey, dude, I like the car, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, anytime you want to do some street racing stuff, I was like, I'm only here for a few days. But yeah, his name is Nismo370Z77 on Instagram. But he I chatted with him for a little bit, but that's really the only time I've seen any like, I guess, car culture out there. It's all lifted trucks with like off road rigs. Like, it's a completely different thing.
At least it's off road rigs, not like yeehaw. Look at my 20.
Oh no, these guys are their stuff is set up to be out for like a few days. Like
that's cool.
Overlanding.
It's super sick.
Yeah, overland builds,
Yeah.
which I love. Like my favorite type of off road build is a Baja build,
Yeah,
and then
of
second
those.
would be overland.
Yeah.
No question.
yeah. I got some sick shots of like. There's a couple Ford Raptors I got, and then a Nissan. What is it that Amber and Josh have? The Nissan. What they haul their trailer with?
Oh
I
god.
thought that was Sequoia.
Oh,
Sequoia.
was
Yeah.
it? Oh, it was a Sequoia. Yeah, I got a sick shot of a Sequoia that had all this crazy stuff on it.
The Austinmobile.
Yeah, I took probably 800 or 900 pictures this trip. I was just
Dang.
hauling that camera around.
See, I have the SUV that the off road world doesn't want, and that's the QX56.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why it's. They think they see luxury SUV and they're like, nope, not building one of those.
Oh no, that's because it's a Nissan.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. But I've seen Titan builds.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen Titan builds and stuff like that, but it's literally the same power plant. I just don't understand why. I mean, it's got independent rear suspension and air ride, so that's kind of cool. You can always convert it, I'm sure. I've only seen like one or two ever that were lifted, and it's complicated.
Yeah. One thing I thought was cool at Pikes Peak was I understand now the whole struggle for like cars trying to tune them there. Dude, the air at the top.
That's what I was super.
I was just walking around, like getting out of the car, just taking pictures, and I was winded, like out of breath.
That's insane.
The air, it was down at the bottom of the mountain. I think it was 60 something degrees, and at the very peak of it, 35 degrees.
It makes you wonder, like, when these people are doing hill climb events there, because the elevation changes,
Yeah.
like the ECUs, if they're running standalones, do they have different maps that change?
Yeah,
Like,
midway through
they
the
have to.
yeah.
Have to.
I was like, this is absolutely insane.
So did you go all the way up?
all the
without
way,
stopping?
all the way.
No,
Yeah.
did you go all the way up
Yeah.
without stopping?
No, I stopped and
Okay.
took some pictures, but
So
no,
if you weren't stopping as regular traffic, how long would it taken you to get to the top?
probably I would say probably
45?
no, probably
Holy.
probably 14 or 15 minutes.
14, 15.
Yeah,
And that's just going regular traffic.
that's just
speed,
regular
right?
traffic speed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
because I think the
curious.
guys like that are doing the actual climb, I think they're making it in like 9. Like the really fast guys are making it like 9-10 minutes.
Okay.
So
You got to see the Ken Block spot. I see
Dude,
the picture.
so
So
and
how
that's-
ballsy was
picture.
that when that happened?
So that was absolutely, it was one of the coolest things I've ever, like, it was just a weird feeling, like going and seeing all these different turns like you've seen on the internet. Like I got I think it's Jeremy Foley where the Evo went off Devil's Playground. Like just seeing that, like on video, you're like, holy crap. But to see it in person, that is absolutely terrifying.
Huge.
Humongous drop. Like I'm literally getting goosebumps just thinking about it. But like the corner where Kim Block did that, I guess it's like a really famous shot where he was hanging the rear of the car off of the road in the dirt. But I mean, it just the balls that man had to do that, man. Like I can't even imagine.
It'd be so much fun.
That's
Like-
actually one of kind of our bucket lists with Clay Carter, one of the sponsors of this
Yeah.
this podcast. That's one of our bucket list items. We're wanting to do Pikes Peak.
So I was looking earlier. I was just shits and giggles. I was like, you can submit to like enter into that hill climb. I was like, man, that would be such a cool thing to like get the FD done and like just
That
trailer
would
it
be
out
sick.
there. Like I don't know what all stipulations you have to. I'm sure there's some safety requirements you got to beat. But it's
everywhere on the mountain.
so get this now in the park there. It's not park or I guess cops. It's like just park patrol. I guess you could say.
Okay.
But from the time that I left Vegas, I did not see a cop until we got into Colorado.
Oh my god!
I did not see one single cop for 3 states.
So top speed runs.
Yeah, I was like, this is cannonball territory.
Yeah, dude.
ZR1 out, yeah.
But yeah, it is. Anybody listening, go out west. Like it is so beautiful. Like there's so much stuff to see. And the thing is like around here, you got to drive like 8 or 9 hours to see like a small change in scenery. Out there, you drive for it. There were some places we would drive for 30 or 40 minutes, and it was completely different. Like the mountains, just everything's constantly changing. It's insane.
I've got to go out there sometime.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I like to go out there. I'm glad you had a good time though.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. I was like, man, I could stay for like 4 more weeks out here. Back to work.
Toge trip. Now,
Toge trip.
what about cost? Like as far as staying in hotels and stuff like that, was
So
it cheaper?
So the first night we stayed in Harrah's in Vegas, which it was. For everybody listening, I went with my mom. It was like a mother-son trip. It was fun. But first night we stayed in Harrah's, and she gets like those. They send her like those free rooms because she used to go to Harrah's all the time. So it was super cheap. And we only planned. I think we only had 1 or 2 hotels that we had actually booked. The rest of the time we just winged it and stayed in like little small cheap hotels. It wasn't. And I mean the flight out to Phoenix, I think it was like. I think round trip it was like $400 or $500.
That's cheap.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
That's cheap.
So transitioning into the main topic here, and I'm going to bring Jody into this. This is one reason he's here. Jody, what kind of car do you have?
S2000.
S2000. So something I think is not really. It's more like a FD RX-7 type of thing. Like you see them now, and you're like, man, I would love to have that.
Yeah.
But they're getting to the point, like they're hit or miss, right? And I felt like Doug found his for a really good deal.
Oh,
yeah,
He
he
got
did.
his, right? But you look at them anywhere else, it seems like S2000s nowadays are like, what, in the high 20,000s, if
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is like looking at one that's still needs work, right?
I really want to see them come down, to be honest, so I don't feel as guilty about beating on mine.
Yeah.
I'd
So-
say like if you're looking at one, like if you're in that like. If you're in 10 grand range, 10 to 12 grand range, you're in like rebuilt title.
Yeah.
Needs a lot of love.
Yeah.
Like needs a lot of love. If you're in that 15 to 17 range, I'd say it's like you're typically like you're looking at like rebuilt title nice ones or like really high mileage stock ones.
Yeah.
And then if you're in that 2022 range, you're in like 170,000 mile, 150,000 mile bone stock or decently modded out ones. But it's when you hit those 30, 35K ones, that's the ones you're going to see that are like
One owner.
yeah,
Yeah.
60,000 miles matching OEM hardtop, which, mind you, trivia fact for the non-S2000 guys.
That's
how
us.
much do you guys think an OEM S2000 hardtop costs?
It's probably like
More than a Miata one.
Yes. More than a Miata.
I'm gonna say probably. It's probably. I'm saying 2,000.
Oh, I wish.
I was going to say 28.
Yeah.
For us, wait, you're
There's
saying
a multiplier on that.
You say a hard top or a soft top?
Oh, no, the OEM hardtop.
OEM hardtop.
OEM hardtop.
No way, really.
Oh, but
That's crazy.
hey, the last one I seen posted online was $6,500.
Yep.
Are you kidding
That's common.
me?
That's
For the OEMs?
It's common.
Yeah.
That's the going
Get
rate.
outta here.
$5,500 to $6,500 is your going rate, and that is one that is like pretty nice. That's like OEM. Somebody just removed it off of an OEM car.
Holy cow!
That's why I still rock soft top.
Well, that's why I got a like. There are replica tops everywhere. Forbidden tops, Rockstar Garage tops, and I'm sure there's a few more. I don't.
Those RSGs are pretty good
RSG,
from what I
okay.
understand.
What's the one that Amber has? I wish she was here on the
Spoon.
man,
Spoon.
The spoon top's cool.
Spoon
No,
does
hers
it.
isn't a real spoon top. I don't think. Is it?
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
If it is, it's
This
expensive.
is what you get for not being on. You get called.
Right, yeah, exactly. I don't know where to find a spoon top. I don't think, does Forbidden make it?
I don't know.
Because Rockstar don't. So there's like, for hardtops on S2000s, there's OEM, there's Mugen, Spoon, and a Muse. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I actually didn't know a Muse made one, but
Yeah, Muse makes
Yeah.
one. It's more bubbly. It
I like the
looks
Spoon.
it kind of looks like an NC top. Hardtop. Kind of weird. Yeah, the Spoon one is really cool because it goes all the way back to the trunk.
Yeah, it looks really good.
The Mugen one is the one I have, which is a replica top. And it kind of goes, it makes it look kind of fastback, or not fastbacky, but like, it makes, what would you say, like the top looks more slim fit,
Yeah.
so to speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more
Sleek.
more,
Yeah,
little
and
more
then-
streamlined.
Your OEM one's kind of bubbly as well. It's similar to the Muse one. But if you go on like Rockstar Garage and you say you want to buy one just as a bare shell, not painted, $2,500.
Fun fact, the OEM would be my last choice if they were all
Same.
equally priced.
Really?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. The Mugen's my top choice.
I like
Yeah.
the one that you have.
Yeah, it's Mugen.
Yeah. I just
Looked
like the
really good on my car. I hate
Yeah, it
taking
didn't
it
look
off.
good on your car.
I know. When you drove off, I was like, that looks good.
It looked good.
As he drive off, he's like, he's gonna go take some pictures.
That's exactly what he did. So, for people who didn't know, we all of us except for Sean went to Barber Motorsports Park in June, and June.
Yeah.
And we all did a track day there. Well, I just so happened to be meeting up with a guy selling me a hardtop. I don't track the S2000 yet. So I got the guy to meet me there, and Jody just so happened to not have a hardtop on his car. So I mounted it on his car, and he tracked it with it on the car, roasted his butt off.
Oh yeah, it was hot.
It does make it more hot, and he trailered it back home for me, and I put it on my car afterwards.
What a lad.
I took some pictures to flex while I
Yeah,
had it.
you have to, right? You got
Anyways,
to.
enough about hardtop. There you go. There's S2000 hardtops in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean that's good. We're diving right into it. So the thing with S2000s is, like I said, people start to see them as a legacy car now, right? They don't make them anymore, obviously. So if you can find one, a lot of people are like, I want to build this chassis. I want it. I want this Honda. So I don't want my Integra. Don't want my Civic front wheel drive with my roof rack on it. Not calling anybody out here.
Actually, my Integra has a roof rack.
I was going to say the Integra.
I want my S2000. I want my rear wheel drive. I want my Jay's Racing setup.
I want my
Yeah.
VTEC.
Had Josh in here, he'd be all about it.
That Jay's Racing one is what sold me.
That's
I debated so heavily between an FD and a S2000 when I went to get one pre-COVID, of course. But
Right, and that's the decision that we're honestly talking about, is because you're putting a limit here, right? You can either save up a couple pennies and then go out and get you an S2000, and you can build a phenomenal machine, right? I mean, these things are so fast.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Isn't the
blast.
Jay's Racing still number one on the gun
Nope.
side? Is it not? What? Oh, is it
you know what's at number one.
Feed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Go ahead and spill it.
What?
I don't know which one it is.
The Feed FD.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the number.
but it's close, right?
It's
Oh,
very,
it's
very
probably
close.
close.
All
Yeah.
24s or 25s,
Yeah.
at least, yeah.
Yeah,
Now, I'll say, if someone came up to me with an FD and said, hey, I want to trade you for your S2000, I could not find my key fast enough.
yeah.
I don't know if that's the same with you, Jody, but
Man, the Honda reliability is really what got me.
yeah.
Because
got
I
another
hate
Honda
working
that's
on cars. I work on my car because I have to. I beat on it, so I have to fix things like currently.
I was
But
gonna say, man's been working on it.
Dude, man, this year has been
I was
rough,
going to
man.
bring up. I was like, we
We're
talk about
reliability.
we talk about maintenance, right?
And then
and
let's
Jody
give it to
has
me.
been on a streak of fixing this Honda.
Man.
Have you seen the? It's like a meme. I don't remember if it's Marshawn Lynch or Allen Iverson. I think it's Allen Iverson, where he's like, "We're talking about practice.
Yes, Allen.
We're talking about reliability."
So it kind of reminds me of the fact of like the reliability of a '96 Toyota Tacoma, right? With the is 3.4 or the 3.6 that was in it, the V6 before the 4 liters.
Yeah.
Dude, these things are so reliable.
Yep.
And then once they
3.4.
break,
It's like
everything
Everything around it
breaks on them.
I blame it on my roll bar. Like as soon as I put the roll bar in, it's like one thing after
everything
another.
started going
It's too
downhill.
stiff now.
I don't know what it is.
I've
But-
spent more time just fixing previous owner stuff. That's all I've been
Yeah.
doing.
No.
I mean, when I bought my car, you pressed the brake pedal, and it was very squishy, and it yanked you to the right. Yeet. Like, that was just right off the rip. And so I was like, okay, cool. Willwood brake kit. And then I bought the car. Oh, it's got corded rear tires. I wonder why. Oh, the alignment is absolutely screwed. Fix that, too.
Good thing you know a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I do know a guy, yeah. But it's like that is the one thing I will say about S2000s is if you're going to buy one, unless you're willing to spend 30, 35 grand on a nice, pretty, pristine one with 30 to 50,000 miles, plan on doing maintenance. Plan on fixing things that people did not fix.
Yep.
Yep.
Plan on looking underneath your floorboard and finding a leaky master cylinder.
Yep. Just changed mine this week.
I changed mine when I got the car. You know, and that's like what you said about reliability. The engine, reliable as hell.
Yep.
God, I
It'll
hope so.
handle 9. Yeah, knock on wood too.
Knock on wood.
Shut up. 9K all day. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, it'll just wind out and keep going. But that's the downfall of it is everything around it decides it wants to commit die.
Yeah.
Like AC compressors, right, Jody?
Oh yeah, dude, my AC compressor caught on fire in the Hooters parking lot.
God.
Bro dumped the pitcher out to put it out.
I mean, this man, like I said, has been non-stop.
Yeah.
Back
He
to
really
back.
has. Yeah,
Yeah.
he really has. Now, I will say, that car compared to my brand new, almost brand new Type R, this AC is so much colder than the R.
Is it
Really?
Really?
So much colder. I don't know why. It just is.
That's crazy, too, because you think the Type R with the new lines, new hoses.
You would think it, but no. You crank the AC on that car, you're getting cold.
Okay.
I think it's probably just because of the amount of space.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
confined.
But when I had AC in my Miata, it was nothing by comparison. It still wasn't as cold as this.
The AC that was in the Supra was
Pristine.
good.
Minty.
You know, I almost got to drive a Supra home tonight.
Really?
Almost.
The
I would have
yellow
drove
one
it here.
or,
Yep, the yellow one.
yeah.
I would have drove it here. He's on REs too.
Nice.
Mm.
There's a new white one in town. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen
Yeah, I've
that.
seen
As soon as I
him a
got
few
rid of mine,
times.
there's a new white one. I
Damn.
thought it was mine. I was like,
Damn.
ain't no way. But we got something else in the works, so we'll get to that later on.
Hey.
But with the S2000 boys, you know, Sean got to experience a little bit of payoff with the S2000s not too long. I heard it when I was in here. Is that VTEC
Oh, that sounds
Oh,
good.
yeah.
boys, baby?
Doug threw me the keys and he was like, "Here you go." I was like, "All right, say less." Went up the road, turned around. Man, the just the sound of the. And
That intake
correct me if I'm
noise.
wrong. You said it's a stock exhaust.
So I have a test pipe, so I'm catless.
Okay,
And I have a Miltech catback dual exhaust.
got you.
What intake do you have?
I believe it's Skunk 2.
Skunk
Okay.
too.
I bought it with it on there.
Sounds so good.
It does sound good.
It's all intake noise.
I was like, I'm
Yeah.
going by because I guaranteed Doug, which he's heard S2000 before, but I was like, I'm gonna rip by the house and let him hear it.
Yeah, I've been behind his Jody's all the time up on the hill. And when I'm on the hill, if I'm behind him, I can't hear my own car.
Yeah,
That HKS high power.
Yeah, his
Bro.
car is a bit more obnoxious than mine. Mine is like calm and casual.
Yeah.
it sounds
versus
good,
his. But
I
it's
like it.
angry.
Yeah,
I have
like
a single
hearing that
exit
through the
party boy.
mountains.
Oh yeah, the intake
Roar of
noise
it through the mountains. Yeah, that's
yeah. There's nothing like a S2000 ripping through the
Yeah,
through
the
gap.
Civic has nothing on that.
the intake.
Nothing.
So good. I was in here and I heard him open it up, and I was like, you know the meme where it shows like the baboon with the headphones on. That was me for a brief second.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, it sounds good. They've always had a nostalgic sound to them, which makes
Yes.
a lot of people want to go and get one too. Other than
Yep.
the fact that they offer such good platform
yeah.
advantages when it comes to a rear-wheel drive front engine. But when it comes to, and I was wanting to bring this up, I see it a lot. I've seen it previously with one of our buddies' cars. How are they with snap oversteer? Are they like an MR2?
Dude, mine's pretty tame, honestly.
it?
But I have the gosh, what's the sway bars I have?
Oh, you have
Carceps.
the Carceps.
Front and rear sway bars.
Yeah.
And
Carceps?
Carceps.
I was like, what?
Carceps. Yeah, it's like one of the most soft. It's like the best one you could buy. For
It is the best
$50.
ones you can buy
It's
that
the
I'm
one to
aware
simp
of.
over. It's good.
Yep. It's the simp over the sways. I'm
Yeah,
still
I've-
stock sway bars. I've never felt it, but I've also not owned the car long enough to push it to the absolute limit to see what it'll do. So unfortunately I can't answer that question.
Oh, I've spun mine out several
I was
times.
gonna say that's one thing. That's one thing
Autocross
I've-
stuff on track.
Autocross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. Like, you see people that are up there driving, like the people that are really pushing the S2000s. You see them a lot. Like they're fighting it.
They
Like,
had the
yeah.
fight,
Yeah.
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to drive that car. It is a driver's
Yeah.
car.
One of the first times I ever went for a ride in a S2000, they were actually pushing it. The whole time he was just constantly just snapping the oversteer. I was like, this is terrifying. I was like, I don't know if I would.
It's probably stock sway bars too.
Yeah, if you're not scared, you're not going fast enough.
I don't know what he had on it.
Well, I mean, in Jody's defense, I mean, with those sway bars, I mean, it really helps eliminate a lot of that.
It does. The car is very tame. You can go further towards the limit with it.
Yeah, and I like to see when you actually get on RE71 RSs.
Yeah.
With that
You
car.
need to
That's
get
going to
the
be
tires.
completely
I need to, man.
different.
That's the only
car.
way I was able to run with you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, my tires are junk right
Yeah,
now.
that's
man.
the only reason I was able to run with you in the R because I knew if you were on better tires or equal tires than me,
Yeah.
you'd ran off the left.
I'm not even on equal tires with me. I have, have Kumos on front and 660s on the back. So, yeah, but when I was chasing you at Road Atlanta, Wade, I was like, God, I wish I had 71 RSs. 'cause,
It just, and the cool thing about it, other than it being like a performance factor, it's a safety factor, right?
That is
like, You
correct.
still get to drive the car, but you're not driving it as hard. You're not focusing on like oversteer, left, right, left, right, left, right.
yeah,
right.
you're not having to catch it as much.
You're not going up turn 5 every time sideways at 20 miles an hour. Okay, so you're just you're set. You're
Yeah.
planted. And I'm gonna have a podcast later on, not this season, probably season 5. We're in the works talking with Marcus, our 9 Lives.
Yeah.
Yep, your brother,
My
actually,
blonde friend.
your blonde brother,
I just now realized that they literally look alike.
Marcus Luttrell.
You
Yeah.
just now realized that?
I've just never thought
I've
about
been
it.
friends with him for like 15 years almost.
They're both blonde goobers, is what they are. But get Marcus on here, get some of the 9 Lives boys on here, get Johnny on here, and I seen a comment the other day. I was gonna bring this into effect, and it makes sense too. the aero on the cars, regardless,
Yeah.
you're making it a safer vehicle.
Yeah.
You can call it stupid how much you want if you don't understand aerodynamics at all, but it really is a good brake for the rear of the car.
Yeah, especially like at AMP, going over the apex, going on to the front straight. You have to catch the car without aero. And I had like Tom O'Gorman coaching me, and he told me, he's like, look, if you're holding it flat there, he was surprised I was holding it flat, but he said if you're holding it flat there, you need a wing on this thing, like immediately. So that's what I did. I mean, as dominant of a driver as he is, I mean, I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad I did. It now, like, I hold the car flat, no problem. Every single lap going over there, even in the rain, I can push it pretty hard.
Matter of time. I do plan on buying the 9 Lives for my S2 as well. I already have a chassis splitter on the car.
Yeah.
It's very subtle compared to yours.
Yeah.
But I want to do front canards. Canards go on the side of the bumper,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not crazy. And a 9 Live spoiler. That's like my plan. I actually would like to get a different front bumper.
Which one?
Well, for those who don't know, there's so many different bumpers.
Which one you want?
Voltex.
Yes. That's
Oh
the
yeah, I
one.
remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
That's the one.
That's the bumper I want. It's my favorite
What
bumper for the S2000.
I can't remember off the top. You'll probably correct me. What is the bumper that has like it's either on the left or the right? It's just a hole. Like it looks kind of.
Spoon, I believe.
Is it
The
Spoon?
Spoon or Ings?
I think it's
Looking it
Spoon.
up.
Let's look it up. Yeah, because
looking it
I absolutely love that bumper. Hold on, Spoon.
So yeah, that's one cool thing about S2000s is the aftermarket community.
Oh, they're
Reminds you a lot of the
Yes.
Z6 GT86
It is.
community.
Okay.
Aftermarket parts everywhere.
I love the Spoon.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that looks good.
yeah. The
I like that.
aftermarket.
That's what Amber has, isn't it?
No, she's got a Taman.
she's got a full wide body.
full
in her
Taman
car.
kit.
Like, yeah, her car is like one of two. Like as far as her wide body, like
Oh, so.
when she goes anywhere, as far as like a car show or whether it be a car show or the Dragon or something like that, her car always attracts a crowd
Yep.
because it's so unique
Oh, yeah.
of an S2000.
Oh, that
versus-
is a magazine cover
Oh,
car.
it is.
Yeah.
Well, you guys probably weren't friends with it back then. Well, you probably were. But she had a Galaxy wrap,
Yeah.
Galaxy print wrap,
Same
the
kit.
whole
Oh,
car.
I bet that was sick.
Yeah,
Yes.
same kit and everything like that. Oh gosh, her car
Front-
got so
What
intense.
was it happened? The front spindle broke or something.
Something like that on the highway. And
Yeah.
she hit the side of the damn
yeeted her right into the freaking like
in the
big
center media. Yeah,
center
median,
divider.
yeah, it messed the whole thing
Totaled
up.
it.
Yeah, they actually. I think it's the same car. I think they like had to get a hold of their S2000, didn't they?
Yeah.
And like swap everything over. It was a big deal.
Old chassis swap. I've done that in my S13 days.
You know how much that wide body costs? The Taman kit.
Oh god, too much.
No idea.
It's about 10 grand.
Oh man.
No thanks. I'm good. You can keep it.
That's hurting the pocket.
So something about S2000s again, back in the subject is they come factory with this little rubber strip around the rear quarter panels of them, and it's really common on most like early 2000s and 90s Hondas. This little rubber strip, and they use it as like kind of like a thing to protects against like rocks that
Yeah.
fling up from the tires, or whatever like that. Problem is over time, water gets in between the rubber strip. It will actually cause rust. I don't know if you've got them or not. You
I cut all
you
that
don't.
out.
Yeah, you forgot. Yours is wide body. But the previous owner of my car, this is the reason why I got mine for a great deal, is he never removed those and it sat outside a lot.
Yeah.
Exposed the elements. And that water stayed in there. I mean, he never drove the car, so the water never escaped.
So it's just sitting in there
It just-
messing
ate it.
everything up.
And of course, it bubbled the paint on the inside, from the inside out. You know, started causing rust. And I'm sure it's more common on the guys up north. So I feel sorry for the guys up north that have to deal with it. But I had to have a professional come out and actually cut all the rust out, do the whole quarter panels, and blend the paint all together because it's spa yellow, and that's
Such a
really
beautiful
common.
color. I love it.
I love that.
Yeah,
color.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's my favorite color. And if you guys didn't know about S2000 colors, you know they name them after racetracks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suzuka Blue.
Suzuka
Yep.
Blue.
Laguna.
Spy-
Yeah.
or
Laguna
is it
Blue.
Laguna
Laguna
Seca
Blue.
Yes. Laguna Seca Blue.
That's the dark.
Yeah, darker one. Yeah, and then you have Rio Yellow,
Yeah. Silverstone.
Silverstone Silver, Spa Yellow,
Sebring silver.
Sebring Silver, Amola Orange, which is the rarest color of S2000s.
That's European only, right?
Yes, we didn't get it, unfortunately.
What's the red?
Clay Brown.
What's the red? Yeah, what's the red? I forget the red. Road Atlanta red. No.
You know, Leanne's car was red originally.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Leanne's car is really nice too.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I think she's got a Jay's kit on hers, right?
She has I think it's the Jay's front bumper.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's just
the
just
skirts, I think,
yeah,
too.
the side skirts. Yeah.
What is, I don't see it anymore. He probably still has it. I think all of his cars just sit now. Daryl's S2000.
His is a wide body
his
too.
is a Muse.
Muse.
No, okay. Hey, how do you know all this?
Big brain.
It's like a vault.
Big brain moves.
Yeah, I haven't seen Daryl's S2K in
I saw it
hot minute.
about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago.
Up on the hill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he took it to the store.
Surprised it still moves.
Still, surprisingly, yeah.
That, and I'm surprised he still owns a Zevo too.
Oh, Evos are fun.
I'm trying to remember if he sold it or not. I thought he sold it. I could be wrong
He might have. I'm not sure.
because I know at one point that the motor was in because he was having the motor rebuilt. And
Yep.
It was just
Yeah,
it was
no
like
issues.
sporadic. It was like certain stuff was at different shops. I think he finally got it back together. But yeah, that Evo, I would love to see that thing back in
That'd be cool.
action.
All
Have you seen
silver.
the old pictures where he's going through? It's right. So if you're going towards the state line, you go through Parsons, you go up, and then you've got that right kink, and then it goes back uphill. Have you seen the old pictures in the snow? He's got the old school Killboy
Oh
livery. and
god,
he's like
yeah,
this-
the car's sideways as hell.
Oh, sick.
Yes. Oh god.
That's cool.
Instead of 129 Touge, it's vintage 129 Touge.
Yeah. Man was out there in the snow ripping it.
Oh man, I wish I could go back in time and just check the mountain out back in like 2005,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2003,
Yeah.
something like that, when I was a literal teenager.
That's around the same time that I come up for my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a lot different then.
2005.
Yeah, it was actually before that. I think it was 99, maybe.
Wow.
Yo, your age is showing, brother.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a very young 41-year-old.
I was like, he don't look 41.
I don't feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, you
He's
don't look 41.
he's a dad to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we call him dad.
Toge dad.
Toge dad.
Touge dad.
Toge dad. That's what he is. So with, you're talking about time, and I think this is a good way to transition to this too. For the era and for how the car is now in a modern day for its platform, I feel like there's not much you can compare to it, but there's also a lot you can compare to it, if that makes sense. For example, the S2000, and I know we talked about it before this, me and you, I was going to get as many S2000 people in here and just have like a trivia on it, just like, is this better or is this better? And what it would have been is the S2000 versus BRZ GT86
Oh,
RS.
oh,
and I
yeah.
would have just said yes to everything for the BRZ and no to the S2000, just to like, make people laugh.
Some
and
gladiator ring.
Man,
But-
but the age difference of the cars, though.
stuff. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is, you have your RX-7s, you have, I don't even know, you have your Mach 4 Supers that you never see on the Touge. They're in someone's garage.
Yeah, just sitting.
Wasted
Dave
away.
Norman.
Just being wasted away, or they got a tire on the back of them bigger than my future out of drag. So it's just, the cars from that era, it's like the S2000 sticks out.
It does.
It really does, yeah.
It's a timeless car. Like it's
It really is.
like you would like when you see it, you would be like, that came out in '99.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I have people all the time asking me about the car and stuff like that. I didn't even know they made that. Is that a new one?
Dude,
I'm insane.
it's the worst with the Del Sol.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. It's the worst with the Del Sol. You can, now this was years ago when she used to drive every day when the wife drove hers. She'd be at a gas station and some old man come up to her. What is this?
Yeah.
And then you'd have to look to the Honda emblem on the front, which was pretty dang obvious. And you, what kind of Honda is
What
this?
Celica is this?
Yeah, yes. You see the four headlight. It's just it's that's another one of those things with those kind of cars. It's like even an S2000, you still get people come up and be like, I don't know if I've ever seen one of these before. When realistically, when they were, 15 years younger, they've seen them everywhere.
everywhere. They just
You
didn't
know,
know.
they weren't as popular as Miatas.
Yeah. Which they're probably not as loud as our cars either, as far as visually.
Yeah, I agree. I think the ND Miata is as loud.
Yeah.
It's just
It is pretty spicy.
I agree.
I
Well,
still
I mean,
couldn't have one, but it's pretty spicy.
the wife loves hers.
Yeah.
She won't. I have tried to get her into 5, 6 different cars, even into Caymans. she still wants her ND.
Her car is one of my favorite NDs, even
It's
with
only
all the
'cause
flowers
of the
and
damn
stuff.
stickers on the side of the car.
Well, the white looks really good.
The
white,
white,
yeah,
it's
the
a
white.
pearl white, not like the off white, the other one too. So she is obsessed with that car, and she drives the wheels off that thing, and she won't go look back. And it gets that's the one thing. Speaking of S2000s, gas mileage, they're not that great.
No.
The ND, holy crap, that gas mileage is amazing.
I never even look at mine.
I drove to
No.
I have
You
no
don't.
idea what it.
just
what
don't.
It does.
It's like 23.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
On a side note, you know you've had a good weekend, especially like during Toga Fest or just any event, when you know you've filled up for probably the 5th time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you fill up so
It's
much.
2 a.m. and you're getting ready to head back up
Yep.
for one more run.
Or when your excuse is, I should
I'm
probably
out
go
of gas.
home. I'm out
This
of gas.
this man was asleep on the side of the road for Toga Fest. He was in the car, and who was it? Was it Josh or was it Jody that just came bombing through, dude?
I thought it was
Or Austin?
I thought it was Bryce
Was
in
it
his
Bryce?
370.
Oh,
He
it
went.
might have been.
I was sitting there passed out in Chevy's 240. I'm in the passenger seat, just conked out, dude. All of a sudden, I hear whoom, like flies by. It woke me up. I was like, "Oh my god, it's like a spaceship flying by."
Does he have Tomei on his?
I'm not sure.
If he's got Tomei, then yes.
Dude,
it's
it was
that loud.
so freaking loud. I was like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah, it's gotta be him.
Well, I was done that night. I'd slept at the gas station, like up at the Deals Gap store. I was sitting there just freaking sucking the paint off this roof. I was like, I need to go home.
Yeah, I think that kind of brings me to a closing point to the podcast tonight too. So thank you guys for listening. But with the the Toga heritage that you have, because a lot of these kids, they want to go out and they want to get one, bring it up to the mountain pass. And when it comes to we were talking about drivability of the car. It's a driver's car for sure, no doubt. Especially once you start throwing stuff on it, you start learning the car different, you see different changes with the platform. It's like what you were saying when me and you were doing a run, for example. You put it comparing to like the BRZ to your car. It's like my car, which I have a lot softer suspension, which you have, but I see you fight yours a lot up there.
Yeah.
I know you have different tires and stuff like that, but it's like even when Forrest had his up there, dude, that thing was a riot.
Yes.
Man, it
Yeah.
was sideways all.
That's what
the
I was talking
time.
about going for a ride the first night. That's who I was with was Forrest. I was like, holy cow. Like, this dude is just driving the shit out of this car.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. I mean, you still get that analog feeling in something that's more than a Miata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very raw.
Yeah.
I've got to take mine up more. I've been up there literally twice ever in the S2, and I've not been able to fully push it because I haven't had the brakes on it yet. Because it kept pulling to the right or whatever. But
That's not safe.
No, it's not up there. But I'd like to bring it up there sometime really soon and kind of get a feel for how quick I could make that car. Because right now the R will absolutely toast it by comparison. So it's going to take some time. So, what's funny is when I used to own a Miata years ago, I used to talk shit about me S2000s.
Yeah. Every
Look at
Miata boy
him
does.
now.
Every
Look at
Miata.
him
I mean,
now.
that's
Every
what you got to do
Miata
as a
guy
Miata
does
owner.
Well-
Everything is competition.
Everything, yeah.
Everything. It doesn't matter if it's an S2000,
Yep.
BRZ, a Dodge Pacifica. It's competition.
Well, it's the typical. I made the most typical saying you can ever make as being a Miata owner. Closet one.
We don't need power.
No. Oh, this is just an expensive Miata, or well, if the amount of money you spent on your S2K, I can put all into my Miata and make it just as fast or just handle just as good.
What's that meme? It's like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And now coming to the realization is as much money as I put in. If I would have put as much money into the Miata to make it what an S2000 was, it still wouldn't be.
Still
as cool.
not an S2000.
It still wouldn't have the cool factor.
Yeah.
For some reason, like when you're in a Miata, you don't have, in my opinion, Miata people calm down.
Oh, they're punching through the mic.
Yeah,
right
they're
there.
They're flames
on
coming
fire
out of their
right
head
now.
like sweet tooth. Yeah, but
Lights are going up and down.
the flippies they're mashing the center button. But in my opinion, you don't feel as cool.
Yeah.
And it's a whole mental feeling thing, And there's the big saying: when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100%, right?
Dude, I never drive my car without having a conversation about it. Like
Yeah,
if I take it
never.
uptown or to the
Not a
hill or
single
whatever.
time.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, I love.
I just think it's, a lot of the way I judge, I guess, cars is like, take a bone stock version of that car, like, can you have fun in it? You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
and the S2000 it's way up on my list for a car that you can just hop in and go and just have fun.
I mean, being a Honda boy, next one on my list has got to be an NSX. Whenever I finally get enough money for that crap,
That'll be his final car there, the
Yeah.
top tier.
I'll be damn 80 years old and be like, oh, look at this cool
He'll
thing.
have his NSX
85
Diamond
years
Prestige.
Yeah. Final boss.
Doesn't it sell? This is my final.
I mean, NSX is the final boss of Honda.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So, and I've already gotten, in my opinion, I've got a bunch of cool Hondas. That's my next cool Honda I got to
Be a
get.
cool Honda guy, you know that?
Cool guy.
I could have 3 S2000s for your NSX.
Meanwhile, some guy in GTR would be like, you're a loser, and drives off.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, but their cars shift themselves. So.
Oh, dude, I had to do a set of coilovers on one on Tuesday. It took me about half the day because I did sway bars and tow arms, stuff like that. The whole rear interior has to come out
oh
to
my
get
gosh.
to 3 bolts, top of the strut. And I mean, when I mean the whole interior, I mean seats.
What is this again?
GTR.
Oh, GTR.
Like a 15, 17, whatever, you know, those.
35.
Oh, yeah. All your side panels, everything except for the roof. Side panels are all pop clips and a couple screws here and there. All those have to be all popped out. And there's another pop clip you got too. And then then you got to take the deck lid off the back.
Why do these car
Plastic,
manufacturers
plastic.
do this?
Plastic.
How many wiring harnesses did you have to disconnect?
4 in total. Well, 5.
I knew it.
probably 5 of them, they were all from a Nissan Titan.
No, luckily for me, actually they don't make it to where you've got to disconnect a bunch. There's one for the center console for the back seat because it's got some sort of light in it or something
Yeah.
like that. But the main plugs that I had to focus on was the disabling the electronic ride. Because when you
Yeah,
switch
makes
to
sense.
coilovers, if you didn't spend buku amount of monies to do the
Electronic dampening.
Yeah.
electronic dampening from factory, then you've either got to leave it disconnected or you've got to buy the defouler kits. So, and they didn't have those. They literally brought me used coilovers.
Wow.
So they were
For
$6,000
GTR.
coilovers.
Oh, okay.
But they were used coilovers.
Used coilovers, $6,000.
That's
I'm over here. I was like,
insane.
bro.
Well, I put them on and I went to go drive it, right? And I was like, man, why is this car so bouncy in the rear? So I pulled it back in and I played around with the dampening a little bit, just soften it up. And I'm like, this thing's still really bouncy. I started looking up the coilovers, and the coilovers from Boost Logic, which is super popular for GTRs, and their partnership with Penske shocks or something like that.
40K springs.
They're drag coilovers.
Oh God.
So because GTRs are what they are,
Yeah.
launching, they want the stiff in the back so they don't squat too much when they launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I doubt the customer even knew. So
So now
He does now.
her head
Oh, she
is
is
bouncing through the roof.
Probably
well,
got
she ain't-
bored.
she ain't
Same
picked it
lunch
up
is
yet.
Great.
they went to Vegas, so they won't pick it up till Monday.
Maybe they'll win some money so they can buy some new coolers.
So we should do some testing this weekend, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh no. I did go drive it afterwards just to make sure, see how it felt, yada yada yada. And those cars are like they shouldn't be that fast.
It's a rocket ship.
Holy crap!
I remember when Sharif had his
Oh, my.
the Nismo. Oh my God. He pulled out of the Dills Gap store, like where all that crazy stuff is down there.
Yeah.
And he put it in like track mode and the launch. Dude, it was like
Oh.
a freaking missile going up the hill. That's probably the loudest car I've ever heard up there. It was stupid loud.
You ever had a chance driving one way or riding a GTR or anything like that? If you ever get to, have you ever ridden in one of
I
them?
had not.
Both of you really have got to at least just sit in one and either in the driver's seat doing a launch or something of the sort. Now, this wasn't my car, so I'm not going to launch it. But just like
Right.
getting
Just
out of
getting-
the
yeah.
bit into second gear is still just like
Throws you in the seat.
holy-
You get tunnel vision, like your vision just comes in.
yes,
I
yes.
was like, I wouldn't say this close, but like this close to getting a GTR
Ooh,
before I got the Supra.
that's a big girl on the hill.
Because I was wanting a 17 up, but I couldn't afford it.
That's the
Yeah,
downfall
they're-
of Skylines.
Yeah.
Is
I was wanting that newer style for the
yeah,
front.
yep.
I just thought it looked so good.
Well, that's the best
I'm
part
glad I
about
got
it.
the Supra though, because the Supra's the better driver car. I don't
Oh,
want a
yeah.
computer that drives itself.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
Wow.
same. That's why
That's
I
all
love
I
the
hear
S2000
from
so much.
And
Especially on track.
there is so much Nissan Altima and Maxima interior in that thing. Holy crap. The push button start is identical. The key fob is identical. The buttons on the steering wheel are identical.
Does it come with like ratchet straps for body panels and stuff like that?
No, it's not. It ain't like weird Ultimate Energy type of thing.
I was gonna say, does it come with white girl?
Bumper already damaged.
I will tell you this: the one that was the most wow over.
Jennifer, you're such a clown.
Oh God, the one that was really upsetting to me was Maseratis. Getting in a Maserati to do an oil change and you get in. No, it's a damn Dodge Caravan.
What?
The key fob identical. Steering wheel in general, whole thing.
What?
With the emblem being different. The buttons on the steering wheel. Caravan. Town and Country. Sorry, let's go a little bougie here. Town and Country.
Come on, Maserati, get it together.
Come on,
Yeah,
we're not
the
going
headlight switch, the windshield wiper switch, literally all minivan. The gauge cluster, minivan, just with different numbers and stuff because it's a Maserati.
Yeah.
Now the engine was slightly different and it had Brembos. So okay, I'll give you that. So it's a glorified Town and Country.
They do sound really good with an exhaust.
They do, and if it's a proper one,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, because there's some like base model, like what are they, Ghiblis or Grinter? I don't know. I don't know my Italian cars, but it was. I got in the car and I'm like, why does this look familiar to me? Because I've worked on so many at Firestone, and I get in the thing and I'm like, oh well,
Freaking Dodge Caravan.
ooh, cringy. Okay.
It brings you up to a good point, especially with the S2000s. Like, the S2000 is Honda tried and true. It's not
Yep. This is the
not
first
a-
one with push button start.
It's not a Subaru motor inside of a Toyota
Yep.
that, for some reason, only blows up in Toyota's propaganda post, right? Nothing's wrong with the Subaru ones.
wrong.
Don't say anything about it. But yeah, that, I mean, it's even like the Supra, the BMW partnership with it. Still good partnership. You know, it's, you get the clowns that hate on it. Trust me, I've been there.
Oh,
Found
God.
a
Is that a
Mark V
Supra?
It's like, before I even go anywhere else, I seen this on a comment and I wish I used it when someone said, "Is it a BMW?" I was like, "All right, buddy, you want an inline six like you used to, and you're having the best company to make an inline six for it, and you're hating on it.
Yeah.
Literally.
If it's not a BMW inline six, I want it to be a Cummins, brother."
They hate
It's
us 'cause
coming
they
through
hate us.
TJ or RB. That's the only good 4-liter Jeep engine. Sorry, inline six straight.
Yeah.
The ones that run forever, just everything around it dies.
Guys. Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, there's quite a few different hit points that you can hit with S2000s. I mean, we've hit some pretty good ones tonight, and we can just make a full just like season off of just the S2000, how it began, and the motor change and everything like that with it and everything like that. And what, AP.1, AP2,
Yep,
what we
yep.
have. So
Yours is an AP1.
It is.
Mine's AP2.
AP2.
are they
I like-
both? Is that different liter sizes for the
Yes.
motors?
Yeah, 2.2 versus 2.0.
Okay.
Yep.
So I was thinking.
I gotta wind mine out a little further than his, but I like my gauge cluster better than his.
I'm probably going to replace mine with something digital.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
They still look cool, anyways.
Yeah.
Some Haltech or something.
Well, you can resell yours for quite a big penny because there's always some Civic guy that's
Yeah,
day
for
swapping
sure.
his stuff that wants one. That is the really.
People do that?
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh! Yeah, the Honda scene, like they all want.
They all want an S2000.
They want S2000 clusters because they
Lego
want to have
boys.
that big
Yeah.
long string
It
of
looks
RPM
good.
gauge. Oh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah.
But if I want to reset, if I ever like total my car, I'm gonna rip the cluster out of it and I'm gonna sell it for $2,000, and I'm gonna rip the brides out of it and sell those for another $3,000.
Bro has like 3 Miatas worth of
Oh,
cluster
it's
seats.
easy. The hard top. Oh yeah, I can part that car out really good, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
That car's too fun.
Yeah, my car's a forever car. I'll never sell it. I may wrap it
I
around
was going to
something.
bring that up for the end of it too. You know, did you see yourself getting rid of the S2000?
The only thing that has made me consider is getting like a wheel-to-wheel car, because that's what I ultimately want to
Because
do.
it puts you where you want to be.
Yeah,
Right.
but unless I do that, I'll never sell that car.
What about you?
The only way I'm getting rid of it is if it's for an NSX.
Understandable.
I mean, it's the only other way. And like, so say if I'm 20 years down the road, I've saved up enough money to where I think I might be able to afford one, and they just so happen to be the same prices as they are now, which you know how inflation works. Then I would sell my S2 for a pretty penny because I mean by then it would already be a lot nicer.
Yeah.
So I've turned down $30,000 for mine.
Wow.
Yeah, which would almost be
I don't know
double.
if I'd do that.
Yeah. And I don't know if the guy was serious or whatever, but he come up to me at the gas pump and tried to buy it. Right.
Wow,
there, so,
30 grand.
yeah.
Hey, those are the dangerous ones too, because they come up and they'll be like, "Hey, The only way I'm selling this car, and this is a story that is true, by the way, is in Pigeon Forge for the Raw Run. There was a guy that had a Chevy 2 Nova, completely like SEMA build, like quality SEMA build, not jank, right? I'm talking top to bottom, gorgeous car, completely done through. The car itself was probably worth $160,000, how it was. And the guy that came up, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to sell this car?" And he's like, "Nah, I couldn't sell it." He's like, "Give me a number." And he just threw out a random number. I think it's like $120,000. Boom. Car was gone.
Right there and there.
Dude. And that's what it literally doesn't take much. It's like if Wade's got his BRZ at a pump getting fuel, and a guy walks up, this thing's super nice,
Yesterday I had that happen.
Yeah, and somebody give you, if you say offer and you said 40, 60 grand, which would, I couldn't get my keys out and hand them fast enough.
Yeah. I'm hard-headed. I wanted that car for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
If somebody gave me 40 grand for my S2000, I would easily let it go, and then I would turn around and find the nicest one I could find on the marketplace.
Yeah. Now I could do that, but
Now you can.
at the time that happened is when everything was just insane. They were just
yeah,
just
inflation
up in the
stuff
clouds.
is crazy. That's why I'm so happy I got my R when I did, because I got mine just before all of that went up.
Yeah.
I picked mine up with 4,000 miles on it for only 37K.
Nice.
Nowadays, you can't touch them for 43 with 50K.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. Works for me.
It's a good deal. That's how it was with the Supra. I got it for a good price.
Yeah, and then he sold it for a good price
Yep,
too.
sold it for a good price. Made quite a bit of money off of that car.
Yeah, and had a lot of good times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good
yeah, you
times.
did.
Yeah.
Whoever's owned it now going.
That guy that got the car, he's like, "You ever heard one of these with downpipe on it?" I was like, "Never have."
He's listening to the
That one
podcast.
Yeah.
Son of what?
That car went to Indiana, by the way, and it's for sale for $53 grand if you want my Supra.
He's selling it already?
Yeah.
It
It was he kind of like washed me a little bit because I was like, this is some kid that just wants a Supra,
Yeah.
and what happened was he's a detailer for this
Oh, so he
business
went
that
and,
sells Supras, GTRs,
Oh,
C8s.
Lord.
he went and
R8s.
jerched it up and
He went and that's why I was like, how are you giving me $49,000 in cash in a grocery bag?
Yeah, that's insane. You can walk into a bank with that.
The bank was like, what is going on?
we all, we all
It's
doing
like,
it.
what's up? I was like, he might own a mattress store. I don't know.
When we bought our Infinity, the SUV, I walked in with 13 grand cash, and I felt like a baller walking in there.
Yeah.
And I was just 13. The guy was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were bringing cash," because a lot of people they want that credit card
Yeah.
transaction.
Dude, I took 10 grand to go buy a TSX, and the guy would not take it.
What?
He would not take the cash. I had to get a cashier's check. It's like, what's wrong with you? This is
You
the
want
best way to
this
do
right
it.
here? You want to look cool?
That's actually
Cash.
that's a really good daily driver I'd love to own too.
TSX is a good car.
Yeah, TSX K24 6-speed manual be perfect daily.
But guys, thank you so much for listening. It's season 4, episode 1. Jody, thank you for coming on. We'll
Thanks
have
for
to bring
having me,
you back
man. I
on.
enjoyed it. Had a good time.
That's good. That's good. Appreciate your information about the S2000. Figured it'd be a good touch. You're local, so
Finally.
get you
Finally.
on here.
Yeah.
So we'll have you, Josh, Amber on here one day later.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Doug, obviously. We'll have all the S2000. It'd probably just be me. It'd be a room full of S2000 people, and just me and Sean over here on the
Yeah.
end. Just
Yeah.
like-
I'll try to talk Leanne coming. She might do it.
yeah. Okay.
She's not too busy.
Yeah. She's
Screaming
busy
about
girl.
BRZs with a baseball bat in your hand.
We're like in the corner. Like,
Get back!
I tell you one person I like to get on here, and we need to talk to him and see if we can get him on here. It'd probably just be like, it'd be you.
If you
it'd
say
be
Kamal, it'll never
it'd
happen.
be Kamal. I like to get, even if we have to record at the Killboy one night when it's dead.
It
in the
would
winter
never
time,
happen, dude.
You're going to have to record when
I
he's
would
not
have to
paying
like.
attention.
I'd
Yeah.
like to get him up here.
He might.
And I started out by being like, I heard you had the fastest Civic ever.
And he'd be like,
I'm out. Yeah.
I would like to get him on here.
Oh, dude, he would roast all of us.
Yeah, he would.
He really
just
would.
calls ricers,
Yeah. Oh, he would. He absolutely would.
mocking us thunderbolts.
For those of you who have never met Kamal, you probably never will, because that's how Kamal is. He is.
Shingo.
Yeah. He's no, he's not cocky.
he's
like,
Bunta. He's literally Bunta.
Yeah, he's Bunta.
He is Bunta.
Yeah, he's Bunta. He's like, I don't give two craps about you. You need to be around for a while for me to even consider being your friend.
Yeah.
Like he picks and chooses,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Which
That's
is, I understand. He's literally been up there as long as they've been doing
the dawn of time.
photos. Yeah. Funny story. First time he ever went to the Dragon. right past the hub. You know, like the little windy section.
Yeah.
He thought that was the drag.
Before
He
you
went.
get to the
He was on,
lake.
yeah,
Kamal's Dragon. I heard about that.
He was on I think he was on a motorcycle, and he went through, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" He's like, I did it. That was the dragon. No, you never made it.
I don't blame him. That's a good.
It is a
section.
fun stretch. It really is.
He's probably like, damn. All right.
Here's a shitty fun fact. You guys, I hate telling this story. 2007. Nope, 2010. Before I knew.
I wasn't even born.
Yeah, I know. Children.
joking.
2010, I was like first ever times really going up the dragon. I lane crossed like hell.
think we
I'm
all
talking everywhere. I had people cussing me out because I wanted to go run with a couple of Integras. I had an old beat up Honda Accord, and I was crossing like hell. They let me go because they were scared I was going to run them over because of how bad I was crossing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But everybody's got to learn.
Everybody gets
Learn,
one.
right?
Everybody gets one. Yeah, that was my one. I actually had to ask Kamal. I'm like, hey, is it okay to cross? He's like, no, absolutely not. Don't ever cross it. And then that's kind of when I learned. I didn't know.
Dude, the first time I ever hit a pull off, I was up on that first trip with my dad on motorcycles, and he chewed my ass out for just having my helmet over the line. Yeah, I learned my lesson then. So.
I'll see. Maybe we can get some Michelob Ultra. Kind of.
Yeah, if we get the Mick Ultra Lime, he might come in here.
Okay. Oh.
He knows the secrets,
I know
man.
the secret.
We got the fridge up.
Yep.
Get this man. If we could go up there one night to the location and just record. That would be. I think that'd be good.
That'd
be
Sick.
cool.
Get him up there in his environment.
You know who another person he actually like tolerates and his friend like nice to and everything. My wife. He likes Lindsay.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody likes Lindsay, though.
Yeah,
no.
He's like, no.
Lindsay's like
Lindsay
scared.
doesn't like everybody, but everybody likes Lindsay.
Yes. Yeah, and then Lindsay's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to be your friend. My wife's mean. She's mean. But Kamal's just as mean, so they bond well.
Yeah.
They sat up in the Overlook one day when Lindsay just happened to bring the Del Sol up there once. They just sat there in Overlook talking shit about me and everybody else on the Overlook.
That's funny.
That's my wife for you.
Man, that's funny.
Well, guys, we're not going to eat up too much more of your time. Thank you so much for listening. Season 4, Episode 1 of the Touge Hour. Jody, like I said, thank you for joining us.
Thanks
we're
for
going to be
having me.
rotating people, so we'll have all kinds of different people on
Who's
here.
going to be next?
Yeah, who is it?
Who is the next boy? I
Let's
think we'll
look.
have,
I'm looking real quick.
No, don't tell him.
No,
Don't tell him.
don't
Keep
tell
it a
him.
God
secret,
hand.
man.
I'm
God
looking.
hand
Keep him a
Little
secret.
boy.
1,
hand.
2, 3.
is next.
Okay, I see now.
I think it's Episode 3, right? We're bringing on a guest. You don't have to say
Yeah,
his name.
I see him. Yeah,
Not God hand, little boy hand.
little boy
We're going to
hand.
be talking. I'm going to leave it a cliffhanger. You know what?
Yeah.
Peace. We'll see you.